Yeah, we're okay. Looking forward to it.
Freddie, understand your decision on Sunday. He didn't make the cut, Freddie Sears.
Yes, he did, of course. Yeah. Let me tell you, it's tough leaving somebody like Freddie out who's so selfless. But from the strikers, I've got to have some goals and creating chances for other people, setups for others. So, yeah, he understood it. I've not really spoken to him about it, actually. He just took it as I'd expect him to.
Well, it shows that you've got a lot more strength and depth now than you had earlier on this season to be able to leave a player of his quality uninvolved.
Yeah, it does. I mean, at one stage I was looking behind me, I got 16 and 17-year-olds on the bench. Well, that's nice to have that experience. I'd never like to leave it out, those kind of players. But, somebody had to miss out.
You went with a back three, happy enough with that? You'd revisit that?
I was delighted with it, yeah. That it was for a reason, because of the way Norwich play, and I thought it certainly nullified their threats for the most part of the game anyway. And I thought it was a good performance by us. So yeah, I would revisit it. Maybe different. I know Neil's played 3 at times and he's played a back 4. But I think it's just got to be down to what we want to do and let them worry about us.
And a goal from a corner, you haven't had too many of those. Maybe you could get a few more when you've got the quality of that kind of delivery and some boys who can find the back of the net.
I think we've scored more than anybody else in the league from free kicks and corners. I think that's the start. So we've had a few, more than anybody else anyway. It was a great delivery, and Waggy puts good deliveries in. If you've got good movement and people wanting to attack the ball, then we'll score goals from them.
You must hope that a lesson's been learned in terms of seeing out a win from the other day.
Well, it quite clearly hadn't, because we did it at Sheffield Wednesday, and it's the most ridiculous bit of naivety that I've seen in a long time from us. It's just it's nonsense. It shouldn't have happened. I was desperate for a win against Norwich. I'd been going through it all week. Was it 9 years or 8? I've been involved in, never won. I was desperate to win for the fans, to be quite honest. Give them something to cheer about would have been nice. So it was even more irksome that we didn't.
You felt it right to apologise afterwards in the aftermath of your celebration?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, listen, people saw me swearing on television. It was at nobody, but I was pumped up for that game, really pumped up. And I said sat here last week how much it meant to the fans, and I knew that. I was quite aware of it. Yeah, I was desperate for a win, and sadly I didn't get it.
Were you worried when you saw how it had been interpreted, your actions, your swearing?
Not really. No, I mean, people can interpret it however they want. But listen, I've jumped up and done that before, so it was a real good moment. I thought we were going to win the game.
Can a club be successful longer term when a manager and fans are so at odds? That does seem to be the situation here
now. Let's hope so. I keep saying I'll just keep doing my job. I've got Cardiff to play tomorrow night. I've had a great relationship with the fans, actually, for the most part. And I think if we win tomorrow night, we'll get cheered up as we normally do.
Can it affect the players out there as they're performing?
You'd have to ask them how. I don't think so, actually. I think atmosphere does, and I've said in the past, I think that fans come along and cheer the team because that's what they are. They're fans, and that's what they come supporters, and that's what they do generally. And if we've won, we get well supported. If we lost, like any other club, like any other team, you get the bird when you're going off.
Will it have a bearing on your decision in the summer in terms of your relationship with supporters?
Yeah, I guess so, but I'm not giving that too much thought. I have to be honest. Since I always say I'd like to win tomorrow, and then that my relationship is a lot better. It always is.
It's a real shame, though, isn't it? It is very sad. There clearly is this issue at the moment.
I'd prefer it when they're supporting the team, and it's not. And if it's me being here that is affecting that really is sad. But look, I'm here for the next 14 games at least. And I'm not pains to say at least. And I'm going to try and do as well as I can.
And you can fully focus on your job, almost have tunnel vision?
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely. I've been doing this a long time, and I've had ups and downs throughout my career. And yeah, I do manage to focus on it. all I was focused on the Cardiff game.
Do you feel the home fans need a good performance from your team? A rip-roaring one like we saw earlier on in the season against a Sunderland or a Forest or a Preston?
Well, it would help, wouldn't it? Help everybody. We'd all feel better about it. We would as well. It's not like we haven't been trying. We've not planned to do anything different as to what we did early on in the season. But as I tends to point out to other people, that there's two sides in it. You know, maybe they saw us and maybe they treated us lightly in the first 5 games. We just lost 6-1 or 6-0 at Charlton, and I don't know whether people thought these were a bunch of mugs, and it turned out we weren't because we won the first 5. But the league settled down. We're playing against a very good team tomorrow night, and they are kind of bedded in. They took a few good signings in, and Neil, who I've known for years, is a past master at it.
Any surprise over Cardiff? Most people would have expected Wolves to be up there, Villa, Fulham, based on what we've seen the last couple of years, Derby as well. Any surprise to see Cardiff up there?
Not from the start of the season, no. I think he made some really astute signings in the summer. I thought Mendes Lang getting Hoylett, and he's got Zaho, and then having taken Madine just before the window closed, it suits him to have those players. I think they've got the back lads in Bamber and Morrison and Manga, just the 3 of them, whether they play back 3 or back 4. I think they're excellent. He's got a good squad.
He's always been the same, Neil? Exactly the same now as when you knew him back at Oakwell?
Yeah, Ben in the backside. He's a good pal of mine, Neil. I get on really well with him. I might be one of the few that says that, to be honest, but I do, and I respect him. The job he does is everywhere he's been. He had 7 promotions, and he's going to be in the mix for one now. Whether he gets in second spot or not remains to be seen, but he'll be in the mix.
It's really tight, isn't it, this year, more so than many others, in terms of the number of teams chasing Wolves for second spots?
Yeah, there's some good teams there. There's none of them going to catch Wolves, that's for sure. I thought Derby as well would take the second spot when we saw them here. Even when we saw them up there, we beat them, I know, but they were a good side. Villa have been flying, but they've had their wings clipped by a very good Fulham side. There really are some really good sides up there. It's going to be a great fight for them.
And after Sunday, your boys must be desperate to get back out there and get a victory on Wednesday night, ideally.
Yeah, in the end, it was like a defeat. It was ridiculous how we felt afterwards, but it's only to be expected. It was criminal that we gave the goal away.
Thanks, Mick.
Mick, it just occurs to me, there's going to be some at Portman Road. Do I know who'd had that stick to first, you or Neil?
Do you know what, I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to seeing Neil, and I'm looking forward to a really good game from us. I hope we play as well as we did on Sunday.
Aren't you entitled, after all your years of achievement and all your years of being a manager, to celebrate a goal however you want to?
Well, maybe not when people are watching it and the bad language that I used, but so that's. But I'm not. When I jumped up, I'm not thinking I've got the cameras on me, because I'm not that bothered, to be quite honest. But it's. I think it's a shame actually that you're running the story and carry on with it. To be honest, it's all it does is prolonging it. So it's such a shame. Then we should stop talking about it, I guess.
Because obviously the performance and it looked like the results have been a good one.
We were excellent. I thought the lads were great. If there was ever a perfect game plan that had gone to plan and was kiboshed by some naivety at the end of the game, and that's all it was. And of course, had we won, it would have been a completely different story.
Did you say anything to any of the players at all individually straight afterwards, or did you leave that for today? I mean, was there any blame apportioned at all?
No, at all. I don't go around doing that. It's that's for Monday morning to have a discussion with them, and I've said to them today, we should have learned. We did it against Sheffield Wednesday. We continued going forward and trying to score another goal, and it's just bonkers. As far as I'm aware, and I've been in the game a long time, 1-0 wins it.
A bit like the first question, really. Aren't you entitled, if you're getting stick from some fans, however many, aren't you entitled to give them stick back? We're all grown up, aren't we, in football?
I wasn't giving them stick back.
So that's a misinterpretation, because obviously there was the gesture with it as well.
No, You are misinterpreting it. I was pumped up. And I said here, I was desperate to win. Excuse me, my friend and colleague, he bought a drink of water.
Sorry, Mick, yeah. Just to clarify, it wasn't...
No, pumped up and delighted we scored, thought we were going to win. And that's the end of it. And you've seen the website and you've seen what I've said. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's finished with Gelly.
You were kind enough to speak to the local radio, though, about this, apparently...
You've just been filming me for the last 10 minutes, so if it's the fact that you haven't asked the question, you got me on camera, so I'm not going to repeat myself again.
That is the way it works, because it's to do with the way you're looking, it's to do with the way the shot looks for us, it's to do with the fact that, you know, we've come here to talk to you. So I just wanted to clarify, this situation with the fans, is that something that will affect you for the rest of the season and your decision in the summer? I mean...
look, I'm concentrating on tomorrow, and effectively the only way I can do it is by winning games and playing well, and we played well on Sunday and we should have won that game in the end. You can argue that Bart made 2 good saves. I think their keeper made some good saves. I thought we played well with a better team in the first half. We had to withstand a bit of pressure from a very good Norwich side, but then we'd scored, and with 30 seconds to go we should have won the game. So I'm hoping that we can replicate the performance, but win the game instead.
Your captain alluded to all the money that Norwich has spent, you're above them, and for large parts of the game outplayed them, but for a bit of bad luck at the end would have beaten
It's
them.
not bad luck. It's not bad luck, and it's not the referee. It's not him adding 5 minutes on. You know, there's I don't think the physio was on in the second half. And forgive me if I'm wrong. There's 6 substitutions. Apparently that's 3 minutes. There is a goal scored. That's 30 seconds. I believe, even if it's a minute, I still don't know where 5 came from. But that's the most comfortable we've ever been with 5 minutes being put up. They never look like scoring, and it's our own stupidity that cost us.
And it really was pretty much the final kick of the game, wasn't it, as well? So it was well over that 4 minutes. You said it should have been 3.5, 4 minutes.
I'm not saying it should have been that. I'm saying we were comfortable. I'm not blaming anybody. The referee chooses to give 5 minutes. We have to play it out. And we'd done it, and we should have done. Well, we hadn't done it, but pretty much. And we should have run the ball in the corner and wedged it up against the corner flag and kick it for a throw in and don't let them out, and the game would have been finished. But we didn't. It's cost us.
And again, just a quick word about Cardiff. Obviously, they haven't lost since New Year's Day, so they're on a decent run.
It's about time they had, isn't it? It's my view on it. They're a good side, I've said. They've got good players. And they've got a very good manager who knows this league very well. Yeah, I didn't realise. I haven't seen their stats. I don't look at them except for the games. I went to watch them against Millwall. They started very well. They were 1-0 up inside 3 minutes. But Millwall were excellent, I have to say. And ended up pinning them back. But even at the end, there was all the controversy about scoring a goal and then a penalty, and you know, Neil was able to come on and growl at everybody, which he's good at as well. So I look forward to growling at him tomorrow.
One of the lads was kind of here to tell me that they think you've mentioned before you used to clean his boots, Neil Warnock's boots at Barnsley. Is that right? Well,
he likes telling everybody that, but that's true because he's considerably older than I. I was an apprentice, he was a very senior pro at the time.
Great, thank you.
Added motivation to finish above Norwich, mate?
Sorry?
Is there any added motivation to finish above Norwich now?
I think, Stuart, that's always the case. That'd be nice to finish above them. I don't want to finish 17th and 18th, though. Whatever we finish, it must be going up the table. But it would be, it'd be pleasing if we did.
Just wild celebrations after that playoff game. They were all on the pitch then. Obviously, the scenes that we saw at the end, does that stick in your mind? That really hurt you at the time.
It stuck in my craw. I'm not beating them, and yeah, it was when we scored. It was. I thought we'd do it, but we didn't. So yeah, it still does. So I might have to come back and do it again.
You said before the game that perhaps if you didn't win, that the playoffs would be highly unlikely.
Well, it is. Look, whatever. I'm not writing it off because I never would. You know, But we're playing a team who I've just been told hasn't lost since New Year's Day, which I know they're a very good side. They were second in the league at the weekend after the victory. There are some really good teams in the top 6, and we're 8 points behind them. There's 14 games to play. The top 6 teams generally get 1.5 points a game, maybe even more. So they're going to get 21 points. That leaves us needing 30 points from 14 games, which we've not had that form all season. So unless the form book completely collapses, it's unlikely. But we'll try and make it to get that tally.
With that in mind, I didn't know if finishing as high as possible will remain, the sole focus, or will you use some of these games to perhaps experiment and look to the future with some players?
If we get them all fit. I mean, it's not a shame that Flynn's out, because he's been sent out for a reason and he's playing and he's doing great. But certainly Tristan, and certainly Ben Morris. We can actually have Wolfie back as well, because he's out of the National League. So, once we... yes, I would use the game to play some of those players.
How is Tristan? He's had a few injury problems since...
He played yesterday and he looked tired. At the end of the game, he needs some football. He's missed a fair bit of football. He's not ready to go in the first team yet, but he will. I mean, I thought he was excellent in the first half. We played here on a really heavy pitch, but he needs some training and playing and get back really match hardened.
Yeah, and is that you've talked about that first season for someone who was 17 at the start of the season, played a lot of football. Is that just the culmination of his first year in senior football? Do you think catching up on him a little bit?
Yeah, it is. It's not only playing the games as well, Stuart. It's training every day with the first team, and it's a hell of a sight more physical and intense. And so it's not only just playing the games, and we try and give them a break, and then they get picked for the under-19s, under-17s, under-18s, and they go away with England and have 2 weeks away and play 3 games. That was tough for them, and both Flynn and Tristan suffered with that.
You mentioned Ben Morris in there. Is he someone who's scoring?
He's doing great. No, he's doing really well. I thought he was excellent yesterday. He has. He looks like he's grown. He's put some beef on, muscle, not beef, but. He looks like he's got his confidence really back, and he's got that pace which he's always had, but it looks like he's started to use it again. Yeah, really pleased with him.
Wolfenden, that's a potential recall. Is that something that's in your mind? Because he impressed in that League Cup game, didn't he?
Except, it would be nice for him to come back and play for us, but we've let him go out on loan to get some experience, and I wouldn't want to destroy Bromley by taking him back. And if he's got a chance of being in that team that gets promoted, I think that will do him good as well, because it's a tough old league and he's going to be a better player from coming back. So I'm not going to be putting out, poor old Bromley manager there is going to be saying, oh, he might have a chance of coming back. I'm not going to affect their chances by doing it. So that's not in my thoughts now.
Because you've said this before, it would be easy for you to focus very much game by game given your situation, but you want to do what's right for the long term of this football club.
Stuart, I've been here for nearly 6 years, and all I've ever done is what's best for the club. Not what's best for me. Never ever done that, and that's not going to change, whatever happens.
Just on the wing-back situation, you touched on it on Sunday. It suits some of your personnel, but it means that you can't get others in there, your wing players obviously, so that's the balancing act with that formation for you, isn't it?
It is, but you'll have to see what a wonderful scheme I've come with tomorrow. Thank you.
The other thing, of course, is 3 games in 7 days is presumably going to mean you make 1 or 2 changes to keep them fresh.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 just carrying little knocks and bumps and bruises, and there's a few of them knackered after Sunday, I have to be honest. They really put a shift in. So, and then we travel to Preston, which is going to be no easy game. So yeah, I'll use the 19 players I've got available to me as best I can.
And the game at Cardiff early in the season was perhaps another one where you naivety or kind of dropping your guard let you down. I think after you conceded a goal early on, but then you got right on top of it, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We played well, and we came in and had the team talk about going out and starting really well, and we were 2-0 down before I put my backside on the seat, I think. So, yeah, that's disappointing when we've done that. So we certainly won't want to start like that.
I mean, is that the frustration this season, that you've played well in games and you've not always got the reward for how you've done, how well you've played at times?
Yeah, I guess, Phil, that there's times when we've not played that well and we've endured some, and Bart's made a save, and you know, Burton could be one. Derby, we beat Derby away from home, and yet they probably had about 20 shots and then one fly past the post and missed a header late on. So, you know, maybe we got away with that. But the points we've given up, Sheffield Wednesday and Norwich, are appalling points to give up.
So they're the thought that stick with you as a manager over the years, then you sort of look back on them and think?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's lots of games that I remember vividly for different reasons. I prefer to remember the good ones and the things that have happened, and actually they don't stick with you, they tend to just drift away. It's the bloody bad ones that keep coming back and haunting you.
Yeah, but hopefully tomorrow will be one of the good ones.
Let's hope so.
All right, thanks, mate.
Cheers.
Thank you.
See you guys.